In today's story, I'll be taking you through how I cut this Boxy BUBU dress featuring a front placket neckline and classic collar. And if this is what you would love to learn, kindly stay and watch. Needing two measurements for this style. So the first measurement is your nape to sleeve measurement. Like this is what I mean by that. You don't take this measurement yourself. Just place your tip of the sharp bone behind your neck. So make it go round like this to your preferred sleeve length. So if you're doing it for yourself, just check out where you want it to be. Measurement needed is your dress length, like where you want your dress to reach. 3 yards. So I'll be using 3 yards to cut this down. And by the length of this Ankara is just 46 inches, which is what we'll be using. I literally did not know that the mic has stopped working and I kept recording. Now we'll be folding the fabric by our nape to sleeve measurement that we did. So mine is 25 inches, so I've already included the 0.5 inches allowance, which makes it 25 inches. So for one side, which is 25 inches, for both sides it makes it 50. So for both front and back, we need 100 inches to achieve that. 50 for front, 50 for back. So when we fold it, we have 25 inches. I hope you understand what I mean. So we're measuring that out, then cut front separate and back separate. I'll be folding the back and front on each other like I did here in the video. Just arrange it very well, making sure that it's equal to the measurement that you took. So I'll arrange it, pin it down and check through. Now the next thing is to check out, to mark our neck depth and neck width. For the front, I'll be working with 3 inches depth and 3 inches width, which applies for the back. The 3 inches width apply for the back, so 3 inches depth at the back and width at the back, and 1 inches depth for the front. So I'll connect the neckline together. Now I'll cut the back neckline. Then before I cut the front one, I'll measure the placket length. For the placket length, I'll be using 10 inches, so I will mark that from the midpoint of the neckline. So then cut. You can actually measure that even after cutting, but then I just do it that way. So next thing, we have our front and back piece ready. Now we take our front, then work on the placket. Now I'm arranging how the front and back should look when you want to join the shoulder, but we won't be joining the shoulder now. We'll work on the placket first before we now do the shoulder joining and back collar. So this is how you place your back and front together. Then you can pin down, or you just go straight and sew like that by ½ inch. I'm just showing you that. Now I want to work on our placket. I've ironed the midpoint to know where the midpoint falls, and then the measurements we marked, the 10 inches placket length that we marked is still there. So we open and separate the front from the back. Our placket width will be 1 inch. Because of that, when we fold it, that makes it 2 inches plus ½ inch allowance on both sides, which makes it 3 inches. So we'll be needing 6 inches for our placket width, and the depth that we are working with is 10 inches, so which is what I'm marking out. After cutting it out and you fold it, you should have 3 inches. The next thing is to mark the midpoint. The midpoint, which makes it 3 inches, where we have the 3 inches, you mark it. Then on that midpoint, you measure ½ inch by each side, ½ inch by the right and ½ inch by the left. Now we need to pin it with the front piece. So we pin it, making sure that the midpoint aligns. Just make sure it aligns. You can iron the midpoint of the placket material, then you join it. So I'm trying to make sure I have the line rules out straight so that we can see it clearly. So I'm marking the midpoint from another place, mark the ½ inch on both sides, then I'll connect them using the ruler. The next thing is to come up from the down part by 0.5 inches or 0.75. For me, I'll be working with 0.75 inches. Then I'll mark that on the down part from that side. I don't know if you can see it. I'll mark it on both lines. The 2 lines that I rule, I'll mark it down. So I will roll it, connect it together. Now I'll be bringing the placket to the front piece to mark where we will join it. So the part that I marked 0.5 and 0.75 down will be down, while the upper one will be up. So I'll be aligning the both midpoint together. Then you can use your pin to hold it. I actually use my pin to hold them down, ensuring that it aligns properly. The next thing is to sew around the marked line, as you see me using pen to trace out. And this is what it looks like after I've joined it together. And the next thing is to cut the midpoint out, like I trace here. Just go in, ensuring that you are at the midpoint. Then when you get to the down part, create like a triangle. So you go in slightly by each side. So just ensure that the triangle head is facing the midpoint, and you trace it out and cut it. But then I didn't cut it because I wanted to add a stay. So I added a stay on it before I now go straight to cut. So I've added it here and I've ironed to get the midpoint. Then I'll follow it. But I turn it to the right side to get the marked line, the midpoint, then go in slightly, then I cut it like that. So after cutting, the next thing is to fold it inside. Then we use our iron to do that. You fold it like I'm doing here. Just fold it, ensuring that it folds smoothly. Then after folding it, you iron. I use the thick face in this cotton one, so it really gave me a difficult time. It was really very thick, so it's advisable to use this soft interface, this soft one. It's advisable to use it. So you fold it in one like I'm doing, ensuring that it overlaps. So the button hole for this dress will be on the left, on the right side, which is why the right must fold on the left. So that's what I'm following. Just fold it like this, iron it to make it stay down before you now fold it inside, ensuring that it overlap like I explained. Just ensure that both overlap. Put it like that on top of each other. Use your hand to turn it inside and arrange the inside properly. So when you arrange it properly, just hold it on each other. You can use your pin to hold that place down. Just watch as I do. After folding it like that, I did. Then I noticed this bulkiness around that front area. So I have to use my scissors and trim out the down part a little bit. I trim out the stay I use so that the place can relax. So that's what happened. After trimming that off, you can see how it's relaxed. So I arrange it, ensuring that the right overlap the left. So just do it that way. Then pick the down part. Ensuring that it's well arranged as it's supposed to be. Then use your pin to hold it down. That's the part you will stitch. But before you stitch it, just turn it to the right to know how it looks. So be sure that it aligns and it's smooth at the front. That's what I'm doing here. If the front is not smooth, just take your time to arrange it one after the other by making sure that it's neat at the front. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to arrange it properly, making sure that it overlaps rightly, and then the down part, which we will sew, is smoothly out without affecting the front, like making sure that the front is neat also. When it's well arranged now, then we can use our pin to hold it down in places before we now go straight to stitch the down part. This is what the down part should look like, and then we stitch down from that joint that we have, stitch it down straight like that. After stitching it down, this is what it looks like, but ensure that you don't have any pleats when you turn it to the right or any rough edges or rough sewing. Next thing is to sew it around, like from where I place my hand, you sew it like I'm doing here. Just sew it following what I'm doing here, ensuring that you sew on the joint, not on the fabric. I don't know if you understand, but the joining that you have, just ensure that you are sewing there so that the sewing will not be that visible outside. You sew it the tiniest part on the joint, so sew it down round like that. Now our placket is ready, and the next thing is to fix our collar. And to get our collar, we need to measure around our neck to know the measurement we are using. So place your tape and take the neck circumference around. The measurement I have is 17.25 and we'll be dividing it by 2. The measurement we have is what we use to cut the collar and collar stand. So first thing is to create a border like 0.5. I'll mark 0.5 to create a border line, like a starting line for the collar stand. I'll be cutting the collar stand first. After creating the border line, you measure what you have. Your neck circumference divided by 2. Mine is 8.75 or so. So I'll mark that. Then I will look for the midpoint. That's around 4 point something. It's 4.3 or something. 4.4. So I'll mark the midpoint. And from the midpoint, from the side, I will come up by ½ inch and connect it to the midpoint. Next thing is to go up by our collar stand height, which is 1 inch. So I'll go up by 1 inch from the side, the midpoint by 1 inch, then the 0.5 we marked up. From that marked line, we go up by 1 inch also, then we connect them together. But then we need to be sure that the circumference divided by 2 that we marked is equal at the top before we connect it. So I'm marking that 8 points something, then point it, then that 1 inch that will come up, I'll connect it there to have a perfect measurement of straight line. The 1 inch is from the 0.5 that will come up with, so that's where we'll come up by 1 inch. That's 0.5. Can you see I'm placing my tape there? So I'll connect it to be 1 inch, then we'll connect everything together. The next thing is to create a curve by the side of the collar stand. So we'll go up by 0.5 again from the side, then on the top 0.5. So we curve it. I don't know if you can see what I did there. So the points of 0.5 on both sides, I will create a curve using my hand. You can use your ruler, but I'll be using my hand to create that curve. So that's what it looks like. Then we'll cut it out. It's expected to be cut on fold, so this is what it looks like when I open it up, and that's how it should be on the fabric also. So the next thing is to cut our collar stand. So I'll be trimming that off, then create another straight starting line before we start cutting our collar. Now to cut our collar, we'll be using the same neck circumference that we did, divided by 2, 8.75 or 8.6 or so. So I'll be marking it on the paper. The next thing is to come up from that paper, that marked line by 2 inches. So I'll be coming by 2 inches. I'll take the 2 inches round. So I'll come up by 2 inches by this side also. Then mark the 8.6 to be sure that it aligns. After connecting it, the next thing is to come up by 0.5 by the center of the collar. Then by the side, we go in by 1 inch by this side. So we connect the 1 inch by the side to the angle up, like I'm doing here. You connect it straight. Then pick your curve side of the ruler and connect it to the 0.5. Just do it as I'm doing here. Place it like that and connect it together. Now our collar and collar stand is ready, and next thing is to create an arrow facing up to show where it's facing up. Then that is not really necessary, but you can do that if you want. So I'll be placing it on the fabric on fold your fabric, then you cut it, pin it down, then cut it, creating 0.5 inches allowance around by this side and up and down. This is what it looks like after adding it. I'll do it and cut it, then do it for the collar stand also. After cutting it, we should note that we needed 2 for each, 2 collar stand, 2 collar itself. So I'll be cutting it on paper stay also, not the hard one. I'll be using the soft interface. So we needed 2 for each, and then we'll be cutting interface for each also. So I will do the cutting, then iron the interface on them, and we'll go straight to cut to sewing it together. Speaking, it can be confusing, which is why I put the arrow, but then it's not necessarily important. But by the time you are joining it, you will know which is right. So this is the 4 interface. So I've added the interface and everything. The next thing is to start joining. So we join the collar first, the part that is looking like V. So that's what we join. So we join it, align it together, making sure it's equal and it's right. You can pin that to ensure that pin the middle and everything. So I will sew it straight, then bend it using the same allowance and sew it together. And this is what it should look like after sewing it, like the way I'm doing. Just sew by half inch the allowance, trim the excesses away, notch every side, then the edges before turning it inside out, making sure the edges are smooth. Then we can now iron press it. So after ironing it, this is what it looks like. Next thing is to add our collar stand, and to do that, the collar itself will be in the middle, but then we'll fold the collar stand into two, then we notch it to ensure that it all aligns. All we need to do is to ensure that the notch on three sides are joining each other, like I'm doing. Just arrange it, making sure your collar is in the middle, then the middle parts of the collar stand and the collar aligns, then they are facing the proper direction. Like, just make sure that the look is same. So use your pin to hold it down. The next thing is to sew it by half inch like we added on the paper. So just sew it half inch by the side to straight, then curve. This is what you should have after doing that sewing by the side, by the every side. So then you can trim the excess away to have it smooth and not bulky at the corner. So just trim out the excesses and notch any area that in the side of the collar stand. Then we can use our iron to iron it down before taking it to our fabric. So on the fabric, just fold your main dress into two, then notch it, and the collar stand and the collar, fold it into two like you see me do, and notch it also to make it align while sewing it. Next thing is to bring the notch collar and the dress together, right facing right. So we ensure that the right is facing right and the notch is on each other. Then we use pin to hold them on to keep them in places. Also ensure that when you get to the edge, it aligns, and if it doesn't align, you can lose out. If it needs to do so, you can do that, and if not, you can any adjustment that you needed by the side, just do it. You can do this before trimming excesses off. So next thing is to sew it down, join it down by half inch. Now it's ready, and this is what it looks like. The next thing now is to fold the other parts by half inch on top of it. You can use your iron to guide you and your pin. So you fold by half inch, ensuring that it's smooth and straight and aligns. So you fold it in like I'm doing, and use your pin to hold it. You can use your iron also to help you hold them in place. And this is what you should have. And after this, we can also sew on it, and this is what it looks like after sewing it. And then it's ready. Next thing is to sew by the side. So I weave some side, I weave it separate to an extent, not to down. You can do it down, but me, I just weave it to an extent. So I'll measure my sleeve measurement, which is 8.5 inches, and I will mark that area and sew by half inch straight down. I'll just sew it straight from that side. I'm not covering it. So I will sew it straight so that we have a perfect folding when I'm folding the sleeve by half inch. So I'll sew it down, and I will also do it for the other side. Then on the hem, I will weave it also, then fold it by half inch. So this is what it looks like at the hem. It's ready. Then the placket area, I can create button and button hole, or anything I want to do there, press button or anything, whatever. So this is what it looks like. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it's helpful. Kindly like, subscribe and share, and leave your comments in the comments below too.